that Edgar Degas could have been a serial killer responsible for some of the Jack the Ripper murders? Many people like to say that that's not possible for this artist to have been the killer because he was blind, and that is simply not true. In 1888, at the time of the Jack the Ripper killings, he was still creating art, he was still writing letters, he was still reading letters. In fact, this is Degas 2 years before his death. Degas is the man in the black suit with the white beard, and he is not aware that he is being recorded. While you can see that he is walking with a female companion who's there to make sure he doesn't get hurt, he is able to navigate around the lamppost by himself. That's in 1915 at age 81. He died 2 years later in 1917 at age 83, and at that time he was completely blind. But he continued to make art up until 1912, 1915. These are photographs of him in 1910 dancing around on the lawn, getting sassy and or creepy predatory. Here's some art he made in 1900, art from 1900, art from 1889, 1898. In 1889, he asked one of his friends to write his letters less sloppily, because as he approached 60, he started having people read his letters to him. Back then, they didn't really use bifocals. In 1895, while on holiday, while traveling by himself, he converted his bathroom into a dark room so that he could develop photographs. Photographs from Mont d'Or do not exist to this day, unfortunately, but he was creating art, traveling much farther than London. Is it true that Degas started switching to sculpture when he went blind? A little bit. Degas loved art and wanted to learn many different types of art throughout his life. He loved new technologies, new techniques, and he began exploring sculpture before any noticeable difference in his vision. He certainly did more sculpture as his eyes failed him, but I'd place that crossover mark at 1900, not 12 years prior. Yes, Degas did have a degenerative eye disease that eventually would blind him before his death in 1917. But by 1888, the majority of his symptoms were in his focal vision, which was partially occluded, and he was also beginning to exhibit light sensitivity. When you look at his paintings from 1888, you'll notice a lot of them are done indoors by candlelight. Because in 1888, at the time of the Jack the Ripper murders, he was better in the dark.